Watching Chips. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. You know what Chips is?
Yeah, it's an old like cop show.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, no,
And I keep whistling the theme. Do, 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 do,
I think
do.
awesome is used too loosely here, but whatever.
Yeah, that was good. They caught the bad guys. They were stealing plants from like the middle of the highways, but they were disguised as folks that were working for like the horticultural department. You know, the people that are putting in the plants, but actually they were taking them out and stealing them. Or
Well, what was the point of stealing said plants?
I don't know, but they chased them through a drive-through. It was pretty sweet.
All right, well there you go. I mean, I don't. That's fine.
All right, so let's see. Once we get some folks in here, we'll start answering questions.
Yay! We have what?
We have a lot of good email questions.
Oh, good. good. And for those who don't know, we have smooth talking Mike Rallman here tonight.
Yeah. I went to the urgent care and didn't run today, so that tells you how my day's going.
Mike Rallman will not be talking much today, and Ricky Niblett will be. So.
I'm running a fever. I have a respiratory infection in my ear.
He's going to fall asleep on me right here. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, Mike. Please.
2 days.
Oh, my God.
We will make it happen.
Are you sure? I'm sorry. We can't.
One doesn't do anything for you because it's not like a painkiller. I was like, all it does is just annoy you.
Well, it's an antibiotic, so it gets you feeling better.
It tells me to drink or to eat yogurt. I'm not eating yogurt.
Why? That's
but no.
That's got good cultures in it.
I'll eat ice cream.
That does not have cultures in it.
I don't care. It tastes good, and it helps my throat. So
there's a difference, but yes, if you want something that makes you feel better, the yogurt is probably the better option. So
yeah, that ain't happening. All right, so we're gonna talk D23 on Friday show. We're gonna do questions right now. We got a great question to lead off the show, so let's get rocking here. Let's see. Click there. 15:30. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 1530 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope that you are having a great midweek, and apologies for the voice. I'm kind of struggling through a little bit of a illness here, but I think it's going around the podcasting community. I know that Matt Parrish had it a couple weeks back.
I had it.
You were struggling a couple weeks ago last week. And now through the magic of, I don't know, Skype and Be Live and microphones everywhere, I seem to have come across it. So, which is totally bizarre because I work from home. So I'm not even around the germ factories of the kids anymore.
Right.
But here I am. The bonus is my voice is very, very white today, which I think sounds cool, but I would trade it for just a few winks of sleep over the next few days. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, we're answering your listener questions. Joining me as always, we have Ricky from DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. Ricky, how are those fingers doing from last weekend?
Oh my gosh. So many articles. And then of course Brian Brian was out of town last week, so he came back on Sunday, and of course, I had to go pick him up at the airport, and we don't live near the airport, so I had to drive an hour to go get him from the airport, and then drive an hour back in the middle of me trying to write articles. I'm like, you picked the worst time.
You're like, dude, I'm not picking you up till Disney stops announcing stuff. We got Epcot, we've got the Wish,
exactly,
all kinds of stuff going on. You just got to hang out or Uber, one or the other.
Yeah, we live too far away to Uber. Otherwise, I might have considered telling him to Uber home. So.
Yeah, I did tell my dad he wanted me to pick him up on Sunday, and we were having Paige's graduation party. I'm like, sorry, sucker, can't pick you up. Shouldn't have gone to work for the Rams.
That's
take an Uber. All right, so we are going to get to your listener questions, and Pam is not with us today or Friday because she is down at the media event for Galaxy's Edge.
She has to see Galaxy's Edge. Yep.
She's doing it right because she'll get all the gifts and stuff. So
yeah, I know, right? We don't get nothing. I didn't get nothing. I had to pay for an expensive piece of chicken that was not bigger than a tender.
And she can get all the chicken and all the blue milk she wants. So
exactly. No, we're not bitter at all. We're not bitter.
All right, let's get to this. Is probably one of the best questions we've had here in the past few years into the inbox. So we're right off the top of the show here. Title is Very Important Question About Fried Chicken.
Oh,
it's from Caitlin. Hey, BOGP crew. I've really enjoyed I've really enjoyed your new must get rid of one segment on the show. With the recent battle of fast food chicken on social media, I wanted to send you a question that's been on my mind. If you had to get rid of, so are you Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
So I haven't tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich yet. I clearly have tried Chick-fil-A because I mean I live in Georgia, so you can't like escape Chick-fil-A. Matter of fact, we had Chick-fil-A for lunch because I mean literally it's everywhere here. So
we're 0.7 miles from Chick-fil-A at our house now, by the way.
I don't live like near a Popeye. Like I know where the Popeyes is, but like it's not like super near my house. So yeah. Although that might be what they're building by my house. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's too small for Popeyes. Never mind.
So my rankings are Zaxby's.
No, you're wrong there.
Then you have Raising Cane's.
I still haven't tried
that. And I haven't tried Popeyes, so that's mine.
All right.
Anyway, she says, if you had to get rid of one of these three dishes at Walt Disney World, which one goes? Okay, here you go.
All right.
Homecoming fried chicken, 50 primetime fried chicken, or Olivia's fried chicken. Can't wait to hear what you think. Caitlin. Pressing matters here on the Be Our Guest podcast. All right, 50 primetime Olivia's or Homecoming. Which one are you getting rid of?
I think I am going. You're gonna kill me, Mike. I think I'm gonna go with Olivia's. As much as I love, Olivia's fried chicken. There are other things on the menu there that I very much enjoy. So I would be okay not eating Olivia's fried chicken and getting some of the other things on the menu. So, but Homecoming and 50s primetime, like that is what I get there. So, that's why, yeah, I'm gonna go with Olivia's, but that is a tough choice for sure.
Yeah, see, mine, I'm going 50s primetime because I can get the meatloaf. Kind of the same thing. And I always get buttermilk chicken at Olivia's. And Homecoming, I mean, chicken is so good. Oh, man.
I should have said what I should have said though was Homecoming, because I can go into technicality because we have Art Smith's Southern Art here in Atlanta, so I can easily go to Southern Art when I'm looking for Art Smith's fried chicken. So
we're going to solve this debate once and all this week, right midweek today on the social media on Facebook, and I'll put it on Twitter as well. So give us the one you're going to cut. Is it 50? I think a lot of people cut 50s. I think that's what I'm guessing.
I don't know.
So you got Olivia's 50s or Homecoming. Which one would you cut? All right, let's get to the next question. It is from James. He says, "Hey guys, I'm a relatively new listener to the podcast, but I enjoy it, and it has become a staple in my daily routine. My wife and I will be traveling to Disney World and staying at Old Key West in a villa with her parents and our 11-month-old son. We haven't been since March of 2018, but the excitement is real. A week from today, we'll be en route in the plane." That's why we had to get to this one right away.
Nice.
2 quick questions and hopefully easy questions. Number 1, Be Our Guest lunch doesn't appear to allow alcohol to be purchased through online ordering. We did snag free standard dining. Is alcohol not included here in the dining plan, or is there some workaround for this? Now, Be Our Guest, don't get me, I'm guessing, and again, I've been sick for the last 48 hours, so I'm trying to remember the best I can. I think you can only get alcohol at dinner because it's a sit down at dinner. I don't think you can get alcohol at lunch because it's quick service and it's the Magic Kingdom, correct?
If I had to assume, would think that is correct. Yes. That makes the most sense. They only offer alcohol at dinner. So because that's the only time it is a table service restaurant. So
I think so. So if I'm wrong, let me know. We'll put it out there and next week, and hopefully James is still there. Okay. Number 2, we purchased Memory Maker so we can get plenty of good photo ops with our son. My wife purchased it under the reservation. Do we need to use her Magic Band, or will all the photos be linked to the reservation and not specifically one person's app or band? Thanks in advance. Love the show, James. All right, Ricky, tell them about friends and family.
Yep. As long as you are linked under the friends and family designation, and you have, I think you do have to have the ability to share photos checkmarked or whatever, you should be just fine. You'll be able to share in between everybody, and you can have all the photos, no matter which band is scanned.
That's right. And if you have lots of friends and family, you'll see lots of pictures.
Correct. I can't tell you. I have so many people that I'm like, oh, hey, look, here's a new picture from this person. Hey, look, here's a new picture from this person. It gets a little hairy when we're all down there at once and we're like, where's my own picture?
God, I don't want to see Ricky again.
Exactly.
You're riding rock and roller coaster. Come on.
No more Mike Rallman. That's enough. Yes.
All right. Next question is one of my great guests over at the Magic for Less. Titled the question is Gondolas. BOTP question. It's from Colleen. Greetings, Mike, Pam, and Ricky. We're so excited for our vacation in Walt Disney World at the end of September, when we're staying at the Polynesian Resort. We are arriving the day before the Skyliner has its grand opening on Sunday, September 29th. That Sunday will be a non-park day for us. We're eating breakfast at the Grand Floridian Cafe, and then we'll be getting transportation for our family to go off-site for a 9:30 a.m. Mass at the Mary Queen of the Universe Basilica in Orlando. Our plan afterwards was to take transportation back to Disney Springs, where we'd eventually have lunch. However, since the Skyliner opens that day, I was thinking it'd be a great opportunity to ride a gondola since we can ask our van driver to take us back to wherever we want on Disney property. My idea is to go to a Skyliner resort and ride to Hollywood Studios, where we catch a bus to Disney Springs for lunch. My question is, from which resort should we ride the Skyliner when we head to Disney after church? I'm not familiar with the layout of Pop, Art of Animation, or the Caribbean Beach resorts, so I'm not even sure which would have the easiest walk to the Skyliner station from the resort lobby. Keep in mind that we're a party of 7 with kids ranging from 2.5 to 7 years old. Alternatively, which one resort would be more interesting than the other to walk through on the way to the Skyliner station? Lastly, if we began at Pop or Art of Animation, do we have to transfer gondolas? I got to make sure I get it right, at the Caribbean Beach station. I'm curious if there will be long lines. Considering all these, which resort would you pick for a young family to take a ride on the Skyliner before we bus over to Disney Springs? Thanks so much in advance for sharing your advice and opinions. I love your show and appreciate your consistent positivity and enthusiasm for Disney. Sincerely, Colleen, 1,005 miles from Seven Seas Lagoon. And again, I apologize. I know my reading kind of stinks today.
It's all right. You're fine.
I'm hanging in there. I got to keep the streak alive. I've been doing this for like 11 and a half years straight. I'm not going to miss a show.
It's fine.
No, I'm not going down like that. Anyway,
I mean, I can do it by myself, but that's fine.
I know. Well, Pam bailed on us too, so we gotta.
I know.
Anyway, Caribbean Beach, right, Ricky?
What about it? Caribbean Beach?
I would say it's got more to see. It's going to be a shorter walk from the hotel drop point.
Well,
and you're more centrally located. It's right there on Buena Vista Drive too. I mean, it's.
Yeah, the thing is that the Caribbean Beach one, if you wanted to take a longer experience on the gondolas, I mean, that, and you're going to Hollywood Studios, like that one does go straight to Hollywood Studios. So if you wanted to enjoy a little bit longer of an experience, I might say go to Pop Century or Art of Animation and take it from there, and then go to Caribbean Beach, and then go to the Hollywood Studios. It would not be super hard to get to the gondola station at Pop Century / Art of Animation because it's in the middle of Hourglass Lake, and it's equidistant basically in between the two. So if you could get dropped off at either of those resorts and walk, what you do is you just enter the building and walk straight back, go through the food court, keep walking, walk straight back. You'll hit the Hourglass Lake, and you just keep walking until you see the big gondola station, because you'll notice it. So that might be what I would do. Now, as of right now, we're still unsure of whether or not you're going to have to, because all this is new, right? So Disney hasn't really shared a lot of details about what the whole process is going to be like. Not entirely sure if you're going to have to get off at the Caribbean Beach station to go to Hollywood Studios, or if they'll allow people who are going to Hollywood Studios to keep on, keep on. They have to because they have to transfer you to a different track. So I'm assuming you probably have to get off, just like you have to do to go to Epcot if you're like at the Magic Kingdom or at one of the Magic Kingdom resorts. So you got to get off that loop to go to the Epcot loop. So if I had to assume, I would assume that you're probably going to have to get off just so you can get on the correct loop. But that's just me. Again, we don't actually know because they haven't started really testing them yet. So it's still really hard to be able to have a definitive answer on what's going to happen with those gondolas. So.
And we're getting kind of follow-up questions in the live chat from Angie and Lauren asking about what time we project the gondolas will start running. I would guess, and that's just a guess because it's the rule for Disney transportation as a whole. It's 90 minutes before park opening. But
yeah,
sometimes the monorail doesn't run 90 minutes before park opening. And I mean, this is kind of a system similar to the monorail. We'll have to wait and see.
Exactly. Again, it's too early to be able to answer any, like, it's all great. Like, we have all these, some questions about the gondolas, and then all these great questions keep coming up that we just don't have answers to because they're not being provided by Disney, or, whatever, or Disney hasn't made decisions yet on what they're doing with these things yet, or whatever. I don't know if they know what time they'll start running them quite yet. They may not. It's just something that they haven't shared. They aren't sharing a lot of information about the gondola system. I mean, heck, look, here we are. By the time this comes out, I mean, it'll be opening day for Galaxy's Edge, right? But like, we didn't have information on what was going to happen for Galaxy's Edge today. Like, we have 2 days, and we've had people asking us questions for months of, are we going to have to wait in line? Is there going to be a huge line? Is there going to, like, we literally didn't know. And I don't even know if tomorrow, or yesterday, depending on when you listen to this, if we'll have answers then either. Like, it seems like they're just like, go. And so I worry that that's what's going to happen with the gondola system too. It's going to be like, go. And that's how it's going to work. So sometimes Disney's really good at answering questions ahead of time, and sometimes they're not. And unfortunately, seems like one of those times that they're just not really good at answering questions ahead of time until we actually get there. Now, I am planning on being there for the opening day of the gondola. So hopefully, if my plans work out, that I will be there. I will be asking lots of questions to hopefully try to answer them for everybody. But again, it's just something that we don't have the answers to because Disney's just not sharing information. So
yeah, I would try to be there too. But here's what I would do. I mean, this is just me just going again. I have no insider information here. Just I look at historical patterns. I would guess that the gondolas heading to the studio is going to be running at 4:30 a.m. because it's 90 minutes before 6, which is the early extra magic hours, but have a backup plan. But I would count on taking a gondola there starting at 4:30. And what? If Disney's smart, they have those suckers running at 3:30 just to dumping people. Because the thing is, they're efficient, and I don't think it costs them that much to run them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, the system's there. It's not going to be a huge cash draw. I would think they would, honestly, practically, I wouldn't be surprised if they were running like at 3 o'clock in the morning for like the first month or so, and then adjusted. But again, have a backup if you're wanting to be there. So
absolutely.
All right, let's get to the next question. It says Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party booking Fastpass Plus is scary. It's not so
scary. Yeah.
Oh, but Fastpass is scary. I get it. Let's see. Hey, Mike, I'm 3 weeks shy of my 12-day trip to Disney, and I'm so excited. One of the things I'm most excited about is my first MNSSHP for the uninitiated. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I know this has been asked before, but I'm still confused. It's probably because I answered it and that confused everybody. I have 8-day park tickets and have already snagged my FastPass Pluses for those days. Can I still book FastPass Plus for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party using only a park ticket between 4 and 6? I've read that you must use all other park days first. For example, if I do book FastPass Plus for the party day, when I get to my last park ticket day, I won't have fast passes to use. I've landed some super hard to get fast passes, so I've been hesitant to even book any on the party day just in case the system recognizes I have too many and cancel some on me. Any chances you could clear this up? Thanks for all you guys do on the podcast. You get me through my day. Elise is 2,036 miles from our favorite place. Mm-hmm. So, Ricky, what's the rule on how many fast passes you can have at a time with a resort reservation and with tickets?
So I believe it's 7, right? Or 10, no, 10. Yeah, 7. Yeah,
no, I think it's 10 with a resort reservation, 7 with like a annual pass or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I have the annual pass, so I usually go with I usually only have 7 days that I can make fast passes for. But you're right. I would think if you can stay 10 days on a ticket, you probably would be able to make 10 days worth of fast passes. I wouldn't be scared of like them canceling your fast passes if you can't make it, they just won't let you make them for that day. So or they'll if for some reason you can't make it or there's some sort of interference, there will be a pop-up and saying, hey, you can't make these. Do you want, or if you make these, you will end up canceling another reservation, blah, blah, blah. So they won't just cancel if the situation does come up, they won't just cancel your reservation for another one of your days for your harder to get fast passes. So without notifying you of, hey, this might be canceled. So.
And in a situation like this, here's something to have in your back pocket. Okay, because I know it's supposed to be not so scary when you're making fast passes, but it can be scary. Yeah. So have the My Disney Experience help desk number handy, which is 407-939-4357. Again, I feel like I'm a telethon. 407-939-4357. If you call them and to explain your situation to them, many times they'll like take care of it on their end and they'll make sure everything looks good before they kind of push it through.
Yeah.
And you can lose anything. They're really good on that line. And just tell the, hey, I have these great fast passes. I just want to make sure nothing gets screwed up. If you call them, they take good care of you and they're very efficient and there's not a long hold on that line. So
yay, that's good.
It's called the My Disney Experience Help Desk.
Good.
All right. Molly's up next and she says, help, no idea where to stay. Hey guys, love your podcast. My son and I listen in the car and from school and work daily. So get a kick out of our question being answered if it's picked.
Yay, you're picked.
All right. Let me give what did Molly's son's advice here about picking. You can pick your nose. You can pick your friends.
Oh.
And you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Right?
That's true. That's true. Yes.
That's your lesson for today.
And truthfully, I'm not going to pick your nose. I want to be perfectly honest here. It's not happening. So
see, when he goes to school today, you can tell that to all his friends and give sage advice. Don't tell your teacher; you might get in trouble.
We're close. We're not that close.
Yeah, so we're planning our next Disney trip for the end of April 2020. It'll be myself, my husband, our 7-year-old son, 2-year-old son, and my twin 15-year-old stepdaughters. God bless you. We figure this will be one of our last big trips as a family since the girls are getting older and live out of state from us. We need help on where to stay. My husband has left this trip up to me, but I keep going back and forth from the Polynesian, the Contemporary, and even the Suites at Art of Animation or Old Key West. I don't know if I should sacrifice space for the convenience of being on the monorail. Any insight would be appreciated. Molly is in Delaware. All right, so there's 2 adults, 7-year-old, 2-year-old, and 2 15-year-old girls. So 4 kids. So 6 people.
Oof.
You know what? I think I would go. I like Old Key West and like a villa in this one.
You know, I was going to say the same thing. Because you'd have to get 2 rooms if you stayed anywhere else, basically, except for Art of Animation.
Well, I mean, no, you don't because of the 2-year-old, but it would be really tight.
It would be super tight. Yeah. So I still think that I would do Old Key West, just to have that extra room. I mean, sometimes that can be so helpful, especially with that many people in one space. So it can be done, but I would probably rather have a little bit of extra space, especially with 2 15-year-old girls. I think having the extra space is going to be key there. So yeah, that's my suggestion.
Well, Key West is going to give you the space, and it's also going to give you the deluxe feel because it's a deluxe villa resort. It's
and I don't think.
And the thing too is, well, here's the thing too. Like, it sounds like their goal is to kind of be together as a family. They don't get that a lot. The girls are getting older.
Yeah.
The most like I felt as a family is when we stayed at Old Key West in the villa when I was there with the gardeners. Like, it was almost like we were at a vacation. Well, we were. It was like a vacation home with some theme parks thrown in, which was fun. It wasn't just like a place to sleep and shower. It was really almost like home, and it's a great resort.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think that not being on the monorail line or whatever is going to be a huge hindrance in this situation. I really think that, like you said, having that vacation home feel is going to be huge in this situation. So don't be worried about the fact that you're not like on a monorail line or whatever. I think you're going to be just fine. So Disney buses are awesome, and they have the signs now that tell you when they're going to, be coming. So, you
which they
right on the app too. Oh, that's I know, but at least you have an idea. So you get notified. You can look it up on the app too, which is kind of nice too. So if you're worried about anything like that, you can definitely do that too. So
all right, next question's from Steven. It's a Run Disney food dilemma. Hi, Mike. Plan to do the Castle to Chateau challenge this year. I'm doing Disneyland Paris in September and Run Disney Food and Wine in October. My dilemma is, what shall I eat at the parks before the race? The food and wine Run Disney is going to be hard because it's the second week of holiday. Love your podcast and love Run Disney. Steve is in Manchester, the United Kingdom. That'd be awesome running in Disneyland Paris. So here's my rule of Run Disney. I eat like terribly all the time, so I don't have any problems before even the marathon. I will eat whatever I want, and my body, it's fueled by Taco Bell, so it really
this is true.
Taco Bell is like an improvement. So, but here's my from what I've heard from people, and I'm around a lot of runners and people that are legit runners, and I listen to like Jeff Galloway and others that take this stuff very seriously. The biggest thing is you got to stay away from anything that's kind of spicy or new. You want to eat familiar-ish foods. Obviously, carb loading is a big thing. So pizzas, pastas, that's kind of good if you're really wanting to kind of build up the stamina there and have an excuse to eat it more than anything else. I would say also stay away from things like salads. That can be rough on your digestive system. But, I think you're going to be fine. And the thing about Run Disney events is that they're more fun than they are competitive. So if you start to feel a little rough, you just pull off and slow down and let your body catch up and then keep going.
The one thing I will say about Paris, though, is food I definitely found to be a bit of a challenge out there, just because it's not as since the resort wasn't owned by Disney for so long and they're just now really getting in there and putting their Disney spin on things. The food options and the food quality that they have at the resort overall is kind of meh. So with that being said, I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to find great options at Walt Disney World. I feel like you're going to have to look a little bit harder at Disneyland Paris just to find good options because I had trouble. I mean, the best meal I had at Disneyland Paris was, Chez Remy. And, that was a very long, lengthy meal, but it was delicious. But again, that's going to be, I think, your harder part is finding a decent meal to have while you're in Paris. And I mean, hey, go to Chez Remy. That might be a good option for you. Yes. So,
all right. Neil's got a question in the live chat. He says, if you have time, which we do, how does parking work at the Swan and Dolphin if you're attending for a conference, but staying at a Disney resort rather than staying at the Swan and Dolphin? Seems that you have to pay $25 every time you exit the lot. Is this correct? Thank you. Yeah, I think it would be like a daily charge for parking. That's usually how it is, but it could be. I mean, if you're not staying at the Swan and Dolphin, they're going to hit you.
They hit you either way.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of things.
Yes. So
I would just
take an Uber or whatever to either to there or whatever. I think that would be
boardwalk or beach or yacht as well.
Yeah, get to the boardwalk. Yeah, that's exactly what the other option I was going to say was if you don't want to spend $25 on a car, parking every time. Those are your two options because it probably is a daily rate though, to be perfectly honest. So if I had to guess, but I mean, still that's $25 every day. That thing's real hard. So
8 days, that's a lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh
that's
my God. Yeah.
I've been seeing a picture of you with your lightsaber. Like we had a graduation party for Paige.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, he's like, tell me about that Star Wars. Like, okay, you gotta see this picture.
Well, I have a video up now of on the Mouse for Less actually about my experience. So if you want to see what it's like to build a lightsaber, you can see me build it. You can see me build it badly and see what it's really like to now it's the whole thing. So if you don't want to be spoiled, maybe don't watch it or don't watch everything, like scan through. But it's the whole show. So you can see what that's like. Also, if you want to see, I know Galaxy's Edge is open today when this comes out. But if you want to see what it's like to experience Galaxy's Edge in Walt Disney World, I have a great walkthrough video that I created that I posted on the Mouse for Less's YouTube channel as well. So you can kind of get an overview. I mean, I take you through the entire land, walk you through everywhere. So you get really an overview of what to expect when visiting Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So that way you can get an idea of where things are before you actually visit the land. So yay.
When I showed up, I went, pure. So you kind of get that feeling.
It does make the noise though.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it goes.
All right, Nick Mattel's got a question here. Love the show, and it's been super helpful in planning my family's trip. Speaking of Galaxy's Edge, is Oga's Cantina family friendly? Can I bring a 5 and 7-year-old kid in, or is it more geared towards adults?
I didn't go in. It's really hard to be able.
I know kids go in. I've seen lots.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was going to say. Now, it's definitely geared towards adults in the sense of like everyone I saw standing in line was an adult. But I mean, if you want to bring in your kids, you can do that. Now, keep in mind, from what I've heard, there are not a lot of spots to sit. Nope. So it's mostly a standing bar. Keep that in mind as well. And, till the spire, I guess that's all I can say.
That's it. I got to get down there. All right. Kelly's got the next question. Hey, Mike, for Ricky and Pam, my mom and I are heading down to Disney this year for Marathon Weekend for the Dopey Challenge. See you out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My mom will be joining me for the 5K on Thursday, and I want to do a special breakfast for her following the race. We will also be going to Hollywood Studios on that Thursday to visit Galaxy's Edge following breakfast. What would be your top pick for breakfast at either a resort, the Boardwalk, or Hollywood Studios? Thanks so much in advance, and go Lizards. She's 1,178 miles from Disney. All right, so I have two. I don't know if I should give away the one that I always use for this day, a marathon weekend. You know what it is, too. We've been doing this for years. It's like my hidden gem, and it's changed names. It used to be Captain's Grill.
Yes, that is mine.
Compass you can usually get in, and it's right there at the yacht club.
Yep.
It's easy to get in, and then you can go to Epcot or the studios after, and it's really good. It's
chocolate waffles. That's all you have to say. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So that was
my choice. Yes,
that's a really good one. You really wouldn't. It feels like a celebratory place, but it's not super expensive, and it's easy to get in, and it puts you in the right neighborhood for what your plans are.
Absolutely.
Also, you could do Trattoria Al Forno for a character meal on the boardwalk.
Yeah, that's another. I mean, that feels celebratory. You get to have breakfast with Rapunzel and Flynn Rider and Ariel and Prince Eric. So if you want a character meal, I would definitely go with that one. I think that's a good choice.
There you go.
There's not really a lot. By the way, speaking of Hollywood Studios, there's not really a lot for breakfast in Hollywood Studios, especially like sit down. So I mean, unless you want to go to Hollywood and Vine, play and dine, whatever it's called, the play and dine thing with your favorite Disney Junior characters, which does not sound like this would be the correct use of that meal. There's really not a lot to eat at in Hollywood Studios for breakfast. You can do some quick servicey stuff, but other than that, there's really not a lot of sit down. So
yeah, I would totally get your medals and go over to Yacht Club or to Boardwalk, one of those two options. Both good meals, both good food. All right, let's see here. Next questions coming from Ricky. We better
not tell a lot of people about Ale and Compass. Everybody who's saying that it's amazing and their new favorite breakfast. See, don't go to Ale and Compass. I'm just saying. I want to still be able to get my reservation the morning of when I'm looking at a reservation. So let's go.
When we put this stuff out there, it's because we love y'all. Because seriously, you guys all flood it. So there's lots of you. So anyway,
exactly. Anyway, continue. Yes, no, it's not from me. I promise. So
nope, it's I think it came from the Facebook page and you forwarded it over. So
I did.
Ariel says hi from Nashville. Huge fan of the podcast. They are perfect to listen to in my office to keep me feeling the Disney magic every day. Question: my husband will be running the Disney Marathon in 2020. I would like to go down and support him from the sidelines, but unsure of the process. Well, I need a park ticket to watch the race. What do other supporters typically do? I'm trying to get a group together to go, but as right now, it's looking like just me and him. Any tips, tricks, or advice for a supportive wife? Thanks, Ariel. All right. So, Ricky, do you want to give kind of the Lizard Spectator Marathon Sunday plan that it's pretty tried and true. It works great.
It is. So we usually stand outside of the TTA. Now, not like where everybody else is, but we literally walk along the monorail.
It's a great place to cheer. It is, especially
exactly.
It's a great place to get some love on the course.
And we go to like the furthest out you can go, because that's when the runners start to come in. That's usually where we stand. And then we will go for the marathon day. We will go to the beach club and usually stand right outside of the beach club and give high fives there too.
And you suckers usually have breakfast in between.
Yes, we do. Hey, it's a long time cheering.
I'm not fast. Yeah. It gave everybody plenty of time to go to Kona and have a big old huge breakfast. Slowly.
Exactly.
And whatever. You guys get up. You can do whatever you want. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, time for the last question of the day. It's Lauren. She says, hi, Mike. Our family of 6 can't ever seem to score those elusive themed magic bands for our trip in October.
You and everybody else.
I think. The kids have opted instead to pick up magic bands at the theme parks as a souvenir. Plus, I can use our AP discount then. Which store on property has the best selection of magic bands? Thanks in advance. Lauren's in Bettendorf, Iowa, 1,041 miles from Walt Disney World. Everybody's giving us their distance today.
That's awesome. Yes.
Where are you getting magic?
I know this answer.
Go ahead.
I do. Okay, so my suggestion is going to be anywhere that has a D-Tech on demand location. The reason for this is because D-Tech on demand it's where usually people think about getting their phone cases made. But here at D-Tech on demand, they allow you to create other things too, like magic bands, or they now have magnets or, various other things. So you can do a customized Magic Band, which is awesome. It can have whatever design. Obviously, there's only a select number of designs, but Disney has the database a huge number of options to choose from. And you can go through, pick out the one you want. Now, the hardest part is they're going to have to make a decision on which one they want. So that's going to be hard. On the Magic Bands, you can also choose to put your name on it or not. So that kind of, and it's like on the actual band, like the outside of the band, not, inside where, it usually is, but like on the outside. We actually had Brian just do this. Now they have a new DTech on Demand store at the NBA store, but that's all like, of course, NBA experience stuff. So like it's all NBA teams. So he's a fan of the San Antonio Spurs. So that's what he wanted. Like we went in the store and I said, babe, pick out whatever you want. Like, go ahead, go nuts. And he had, I showed him like the DTech on Demand section and he's like, oh, I really want a Magic Band. So he picked out like this awesome Magic Band and they printed it there. It usually takes about 20 minutes or so once you place your order. But yeah, unless they're a little backed up, but that's what I would suggest. They also have, so places that have DTech on Demand that I know offhand are the NBA store, but that's only for NBA stuff. Then there's the Marketplace Co-op. There is the Tomorrowland Power and Light Company right outside of Space Mountain. And there is right in the front of Hollywood Studios in that first store as you walk in. It was the dark room, and since they stopped, selling camera stuff, they changed it basically into a DTech on Demand store. So those are like the three places that I know for sure. Oh, I take that back. There's one other place. They also have some in the Star Wars launch bay. I'm not entirely sure if those are just Star Wars themed one, those. So that's something to consider if you want something that's maybe not Star Wars themed. So.
Well, plus too, you can get like exclusive, like your DVC or AP, or they have special ones there too. So yeah, you can get your name on them. Mallory did that years ago, and it's really cool. It's on the outside. Yep. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's questions. Don't forget today's show brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com, home of great iPhone apps like Theme Park News, Disney. Ricky, on Friday, we're going to dive into D23 and all the announcements and what that means for the Disney fan heading down in the next couple of years, even the next decade.
Correct.
But, what else are we reading about on Theme Park News Disney Edition?
Okay. So we are reading about a brand new Marvel exhibit that is actually at Walt Disney Presents. So this is something that's just really small. It's not like a lot of fanfare, but it's something really cool that I think that they're doing. I do think it's a little weird that it's at Walt Disney Presents, but whatever. This is where they put it. So this new exhibit celebrates Disney legend Jack Kirby and the Eternals, which is one of the, I think, oh God, I don't want to get this wrong because I'm going to have all the Marvel fans hating me, but I think that's the first Marvel comic book. Please don't get me wrong. Please don't hate me if I got that wrong. But anyway, so this beginning, now guests can see the Eternals Jack Kirby Cosmic Series exhibit, and you can see the book that started all, the original print issue #1 comic book. You can see unique photos, artifacts that inspire Jack's process, as well as a photo wall that you can, of course, get a selfie with. So this is a limited time exhibit. No word on exactly how long it's going to be at Disney's Hollywood Studios or at Walt Disney Presents. But if you're a big fan of Marvel and you'll be in the studios soon-ish, you might want to head over there and see what I'm sure it's very small. Like, don't expect like a huge thing. It's probably like a little bitty section of Walt Disney Presents, but still, you can go check it out.
But I'm going to bring those things in because, there are niche audiences. Marvel's huge, but you get a chance to see something.
It's still weird it's in Walt Disney Presents. I know there's really nowhere else they could, where else are they going to put a little exhibit like that? That is the exhibit showcase, but like, it's Walt Disney Presents.
Epcot will have a place to put stuff like that soon.
Yeah, well, you're not for that. That's not.
No, not for that.
That's a different kind of exhibit that we're getting, but more on that on Friday. Right, hey, I take it. Yes.
Perfect. All right, don't forget great apps, Theme Park News, Disney Edition, and also Days to Go WDW over at virtualmickey.com. Use our Amazon affiliate link as often as you can. It really does help support the show. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Give us a follow on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Be Our Guest Pod and at Be Our Guest Mike. And of course, we've got a great Facebook page at facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Again, thanks everybody for putting up with me today. I know that I sound terrible, and just wanted to get the show out there so you had something for your Wednesday to get you to and from school and work. And we'll try harder on Friday and moving forward. So
yeah, because you're going to sound much better on Friday. I'm just saying you're not. Behind the scenes magic, you're not. I can guarantee you're not.
Knows by now. Yeah, I'll probably sound the same on Friday. I'm just guessing. Anyway, for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks.
Don't lie to these poor people.
There, Ricky.
Don't lie to these people.
Well, I mean, at least I have him for 48 hours. Like, man, I hope he feels better on Friday.
Nope.
5530.
My husband's calling. Hold on. Hello. Hi, I'm recording. That's okay. I love you. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Oh, he's on his way home. Hooray.
Were you talking about my San Antonio Spurs Magic Band?
He was so excited about that thing too. Like, he had a couple of things in mind. Like, he was looking at a shirt that he really liked, and then he found a tumbler that had Mickey Mouse and the San Antonio Spurs logo on it. And then, like, I was looking at it, and I saw the Magic Band thing, and I was like, well, they had other things too. Like, I know they had magnets, and they had the phone cases, and then they had a few other things, but I can't remember what else they had there. Yeah, I was like, oh, babe, look, they have all these things that you can do, and you can customize them. And so he found the Magic Band. He's like, I want that. He's like, I will actually use that when I'm here. So that's why he picked.
Disney's so good about that though, because like they'll put like Mickey with the Cardinals. You know,
that's what he did. That's what they did.
And you feel like, oh god, I gotta have that. Or like Mickey, there's like a Mickey and Mizzou thing. Holy cow, I gotta get it, because how often do you get Mickey and Mizzou? You know, it's like,
exactly. That's exactly what they did. They put Mickey with the in the San Antonio Spurs, jersey, and he's like, oh, this is mine. Okay, that's so good. Yes.
So good.
They're printing money. Yeah. Oh, one of the interesting things I wanted to bring up too is, and I really want to ask, because I did go to the NBA experience, and I just want to share a couple things I found while talking with a person that worked at the NBA experience. So there are no locker rooms at the NBA experience, which I think is a huge disservice, because you go there and you're like, where, you know how we had that question earlier about where do you go change or whatever? Yeah. And they literally have no place for you to change. And I was like, well, that seems really dumb. So maybe in the future, if the NBA experience continues to exist, they'll put in somewhere for people to change, because that seems like I said, that just seems like a really bizarro thing. They do have lockers for you to put your bags and stuff in. The other thing that they said, which I thought was suspicious, but because I had heard that you couldn't do this, or at least that was what was in the news, but they said that you can come and go throughout the day. But originally I had heard that it was a one-time thing.
I could see a line re-entry for that cost.
I could see a reentry, yeah, for that cost, and because it's an activity that you can do, and so
eat at Disney Springs. They want you
exactly. And they have the restaurant right next door. Now the restaurant was supposed to be a part of the NBA experience, and they separated it, so it's still attached, I think, to the building, but so yeah, I can see where they would want you to be able to eat and then come back in. So. Yep. Anyway, I just thought I learned those things when I was there, so I thought I'd share those things because they've been going in my brain, and I wanted to make sure that I shared them with you, even though it's not live on the podcast. At least let's
put that on next Wednesday's show if you remember.
Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah. Okay, gotta keep this 35 or 40 minutes. Got my head.
Good luck.
I know. I mean, we'll hit the major stuff. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1531 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Yes, the voice is still hanging in by a thread. So hang with me. I'm going to have the weekend to recover, and we'll be good again on Monday, I promise you. But we're going to be here talking Disney, and we have so much to talk about. This is just what... if you were at D23 out in Anaheim, this is what your voice probably sounds like anyway for the next month or so. Right. And like we talked about on Wednesday, Ricky's fingers fell off trying to coverage over on the Mouse for Less. We're going to talk about the highlights of D23. So joining me today, the the typist, the princess, the person who took care of everything herself as she chugs down the water. Ricky from AdventureWorldAfterAll.com, touringplans.com, and the Mouse for Less. Ricky, I hope you did hydrate over the weekend because it was kind of crazy.
Dude, I was like so like amped up on coffee. Like I had the coffee pot just going. I was like, keep pouring. But yeah, I had to drink water before we started the show because like my vocal cords, I needed to make sure they were lubricated. There is so much to share.
So
let's put it this way: so much to share, and yet so little to share all at one time. Yeah.
Well, I want to jump in because again, we only have about 40 minutes. I don't want to talk about all the stuff and in the experience and everything. Of course, we're not going to cover everything. Go to the Mouse for Less and touring.
Oh yes,
you've got all your articles there.
Please read my articles I wrote. I spent a long time writing them. Yes, 5 hours at least. Yes.
And the thing is, we're not going to get all that in. If you want the details, that's where to go. Read the details. But today we're going to give kind of feedback and, thoughts and feelings from what happened, because you're going to get this on every podcast this week. We know that.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're Disney fans. That's exactly what every podcast should be about right now. We're excited.
This is the Super Bowl of Disney. Come on. Yeah.
Let's talk about the D23 experience first. I was, and I've seen this for the last, at the expos, the last like 4 or 5 years. The coverage, and thank God for everybody's out there tweeting everything. All the right people.
Bravo.
God, I tell myself, man, I'm a Disney parks fan, but I couldn't do expo. Like, I'm not sitting in lines and going to hear people talk about things. Like, I want to be in the park doing. I'm not a person who wants to be in the crowd like, yeah, we're getting a new Epcot. Like, I'm excited to read it on Twitter, but I don't want to spend like time camping out for that stuff. Is that up here? And I know different strokes for different folks. People love Marvel. I don't watch Marvel. I appreciate that everybody has different opinions and different likes, and that's what I love about this community. But I'm thinking, God, I could not be up at 6 o'clock in the morning laying on a concrete floor to hear somebody talk about stuff. Like, I can read it just as quickly on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I have like a love-hate relationship with the D23 Expo. I have never been. I did try to go as media this year and I got denied. I'm a little bitter, and I don't ask why, but just know that I'm a little bitter that we did not get approved. But I will say,
we're so negative about things. No, just kidding. It wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what we have to do to prove that we're a real, thing in the Disney community, but whatever. So anyway, so my love hate is that's the hate part. The love part is that it does look cool. I mean, I don't necessarily think I don't think I'd get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I really would like to experience D23, because I do love the movies. I do love I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Marvel fan. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I do love Disney. I love the movies. I'm excited about Disney Plus. Like, everything they announced with Disney Plus, I was like, yes, this sounds awesome. Just I really am excited. I would really like to immerse myself and really experience what the expo is about someday. Would I sleep on the floor? No, I wouldn't sleep on the floor. Are there panels that I would love to get into? Of course, I would love to be at the D20 the Parks and Resorts panel. Yes. But then again, it would be so hard for me to write all these stories that I have to write after the Parks and Resorts panel, because literally it took me 5 hours to write all these stories on Sunday. So I have to immediately go somewhere and just that would be the rest of my day, So in that regard, I wouldn't want to be there. It's one of those weird things that, again, I have a love-hate relationship with. I really want to experience it and see what it's like, see all the costumes that people come up with, see all the booths and things, unique things that people create with their Disney art and stuff like that. That part, meet some of the Disney celebrities, the smaller ones, not The Rock, which would be awesome to have met him. But some of the smaller ones, in the Disney community, and that kind of thing. That part would be really cool to me. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to be there someday. Maybe someday I'll get out there. But
I think I think the thing is, it'd be exciting to be in that kind of an environment, because it's like your peeps. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
When I see it, I'm like, oh man, those are all my people. Going around but yeah, I appreciate everybody covering that stuff on Twitter, because I'm 45, man. I can't lay on a floor for 6 hours, man. I'll never get up. I'll be crawling. But then again, I saw somebody post a short little video of I think it was somebody in a wheelchair, and the wheelchair looked like a pirate ship.
Yes, that was awesome.
They run the back the skull and crossbones winked or something. I'm like,
yes,
oh, that's so cool. I would love to be in that environment, but I mean, I guess I'm weak, because
there are so many smaller panels too that don't get televised, don't get live streamed or whatever, or things that we can't experience because they don't allow people to live stream them, that kind of thing. So there are a lot of things that I would like to see in person. But yeah, I mean, those are our peeps. I would like to connect with our peeps, and I can't.
But again, social media brings us all together.
It does.
I'm so glad everybody went out there and had a good time and got to experience.
And thanks to those of you who live streamed the Parks and Resorts panel so that I can watch it. Thanks, y'all.
Yes. I was watching Matt posting all those videos and stuff, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, God, it's a young man's game. And I'm sorry. I'm like the old man, coming in like in the bottom of the ninth for like one last at bat or something. I don't know. I'm getting there. Because I've been sick all week.
Exactly. I'm like, you're just feeling gross.
The more I look at that, I'm like, I could not do that. It'd kill me. But then again, I run the Dopey Challenge. So
exactly. That would kill me. See, we need to do a Dopey Challenge. Yes.
Thing is, I can't get down. If I get down, I can't get up. Anyway, before we get into all the announcements, we're not going to cover everything. We're just going to cover some major stuff that, it's our show. We'll talk about stuff that we got excited about. If looking back, because now we've had almost like, a few days to reflect on everything that happened with the parks, let's focus basically on parks because we really can't get into all the other stuff. What's the one thing that has you the most excited that was announced over the weekend?
Well, first of all, I want to preface this by saying that, I want to preface this by saying a lot of people I know were kind of disappointed in the Parks and Resorts panel. Everybody had all these fantastical ideas about, we're going to get this and we're going to get this and they're going to announce this. And I'm just like, we got so much at the last D23 Expo, and I have paid attention to the Expo and what gets announced at the Parks and Resorts panel. And of course, that's the panel that excited me the most. I mean, that's what I'm most passionate about as well. But the panel for the D23 Expo for the Parks and Resorts is cyclical in the sense of what they usually do is they will have one expo year where they will announce just a ton of information, like information overload. And I'm not saying that we didn't get information overload this time. It was just a lot of information that we'd heard about before, but we're getting more details about because, the stuff that we'd heard about before was so far into the future at that point that they didn't have a lot of details. And now we're getting the details on it. The other year, the every other year part is that the following time, they usually have a smaller Parks and Resorts presentation in the sense of the details that come out of it are not that big. They'll have like a couple of bigger things that come out, but they're really in general kind of smaller things like we got with this last expo or with this one this past weekend. It was again, a lot of information, but a lot of smaller information. And I think that people had all this hype built up in their heads of, we're getting Brazil, or, we're getting a new nighttime parade for the Magic Kingdom, or, or they're taking out the Tiki Room,
God, none of those were true. I mean, sometimes I'm glad, like, thank God.
Yes, exactly. I'm so happy to hear that some of those things are not true. Tiki Room, Country Bears, thank you for leaving those alone. For now, hopefully that won't happen in the future. But I know that people have expressed their disappointment in what was announced at this year's D23 Expo. And I guess I can say I wasn't disappointed because I didn't have a lot of expectations for this year's Expo. I knew it was going to be a slower Parks and Resorts panel. I knew that we were really only, there were three things that I thought we were going to get. And those are the three things that four. There were four things I thought we were going to get. I thought we were going to get the what was going to happen at Epcot. Like I knew that, we were going to get that because they'd already announced that we were going to get that. I knew we were going to get details on Marvel, on the Marvel Land at Disney California Adventure because they were already under construction with that. That was something that they had already announced and we didn't have a lot of details about, but it's opening next year. So like we had to find out more information about that. And I knew we were going to get details about the Star Wars Hotel because, again, they'd already announced that, but we didn't have a lot of details about it. So I knew we were going to get more details about that. The last thing that I wasn't sure that we were going to get details about, but we ended up getting was the new ship. So all four of those things we got answers on. And those were the four things that I knew would be discussed at the D23 Expo. So I think that's why I wasn't like disappointed in it. I knew what was going to be discussed. I had already figured it out because those things are coming up in the near future. That's, if anything else is coming for the Parks and Resorts, in 2022, they're not going to announce that right now because they have so much on the forefront that they're working on. So anyway, I know that was a really long tangent. I'm sorry.
Well, no, and I think, being in the fandom.
That's the other thing. I'm sorry to go back. Everybody thought they would get a fifth gate.
That's what I was mentioning, though. I think everybody gets hyped up about things when you're in the fandom. Like if I'm the Cardinals, and I'm a Cardinals fan, and there's a free agent out there, everybody thinks you're getting Bryce Harper, like everybody thinks they're getting the big thing where, we got Paul Goldschmidt, which was like the perfect fit for us. I didn't want Harper. I want a Goldschmidt. He's like low key. He's what we needed. We needed a first baseman. I think Disney, as fans, we get excited because like we want a fifth gate, we want a fifth park. But then, the big announcement ended up being that, a project that celebrates cast members all around the world, not just in the parks.
Oh, yes, exactly. Oh, that was the biggest disappointment of everybody. Yeah. I mean,
it shouldn't be a disappointment. It's an exciting, I think.
Oh, it's going to be an awesome series that I can't wait to watch on Disney Plus.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I think the thing is like, and I'm glad they're doing that because I've said for years, ever since we started the podcast, one of the reasons I go to Disney destinations is the cast members. They make the magic. They're the ones that are there, providing the experiences for me, giving a sticker to my kid or, telling a joke as I'm waiting for an attraction or handing me an ice cream. They're the people that make the magic. This is a great project and I'm excited for it because we get to celebrate those people finally. And this is going to be awesome. But, like when you have it built up to like fifth park or a Disney airline or, oh, we're getting this special about the cast members. I mean, of course they're going to be, but I was excited. It's so hard. That is so rough.
I will say Disney did themselves a huge disservice in this because they said it was a secret project. And granted, what they announced was a secret project. Nobody knew about this project. And they had specifically said that it was a Walt,
but it's not an airline. It's not a theme park.
but here, I want to dissect this a little bit further because they specifically said it was a Walt Disney Company project, not a Walt Disney Parks project, not a Walt Disney, Parks and Resorts project, a Walt Disney Company project. And when you look at that, what that means is it is going to encompass the entire Walt Disney Company. And that is exactly what the secret project did. And I know that everybody's like, well, what do you mean, Ricky? Well, that's because they are talking with cast members. So they're getting the Parks and Resorts part in that. They're airing it on Disney Plus. That's the most important thing right now to Disney, right? I'm telling you, that service is the most important thing that they are currently doing. They care about everything else. Trust me.
Everywhere. It's in every person's hand.
But the fact that this is airing on Disney Plus is going to be huge. And it is a book. So it ties into their consumer products part. So really, it hits three of the huge major prongs that are part of the Walt Disney Company. So yes, it was a Walt Disney Company project that was secret that nobody knew about. It's just everybody has this huge idea of a fifth gate. And I'm sorry, I'm going to go off on a huge tangent. This is my show because Mike's not feeling well. But I am so tired of hearing about people wanting a fifth gate. And here's why. The other parks need so much love and attention. I know that the parks are busy. I get it. Trust me, I am there all the time, more than you guys even have any idea about. I'm in those parks. They're busy. I get it. I understand. But adding a fifth gate is not going to fix the problems that need to be adjusted. The problems that need to be, and raising the prices aren't going to adjust those problems either. The problems that need to be fixed are that there just aren't enough attractions in the parks that we currently have and other things. So not just attractions, but restaurants and things like that to accommodate all the guests. You look at the fact that we have Stitch's Great Escape, which is a complete building that we're just not utilizing. Again, something else that didn't get announced during the Z23 Expo. You have that whole section of Rafiki's Planet Watch, and I know that they just reopened it, but that is a dead section of the park. You have the whole section of Dino Land that needs complete love. And I mean, have you guys been paying attention? Primeval World has been closed for a long time because something's wrong with it and we don't know, but it hasn't been open. Huh?
Makes you sick.
It hasn't been open. So, I mean, you've got that whole section that's just a nightmare. You've got Epcot needed its overhaul. And even with all the announcements we got, we still did not get announcements for everything. Imagination. So that's still on the table. And then you look at the Magic Kingdom or the Hollywood Studios, and you look at that whole section that's over in the animation courtyard that you've got this whole Star Wars launch bay that just is not necessary anymore once Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is open. So now that that's open, you don't need that. So That's a whole section that needs love and attention. I want all those things fixed first before we start looking at a fifth gate, before we start saying, hey, let's pour money into a half day park, because that we know that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be a full day park. Look how long it's taken for Animal Kingdom and Disney's Hollywood Studios to finally get somewhere to a full day park status. It took, what, 20 years for Animal Kingdom? So I'm sorry, I went off on a
but I'm with you, because the thing is, I want value for my buck. And, I don't want to go into a park that's a half day park. I want to maximize what we have and build
exactly
them, and make them really, really cool experiences, which they're doing. I mean, if you think about it, right now they're building 5 e-ticket attractions at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Rise, Ratatouille. I'm trying to think what else.
Tron.
Runaway Railway.
Correct. I don't know what the other one.
Yeah. Which one am I missing? But I mean, that's pretty incredible. I mean, to think about 5 e-ticket attractions going in simultaneously. They're building, but you're right. I don't need the fifth gate. I mean, in Utopia, that'd be great. Like to have 5 full day parks it comes online with 20 attractions. Like that ain't going to happen nowadays.
Right.
I mean,
no.
5. So I'm fine. I totally agree with what you say there, but we're already burning through a ton of time. So let's jump into.
I'm sorry. Those are just things that have been on my mind and that I just want to get out there, because like I know everybody's disappointed we're not getting a fifth gate, and we may still get a fifth gate at some point. That is not something that I am personally looking for, though.
Eventually, I just don't think we're ready right now.
I don't think we're ready right now, and I'm sorry, we don't need to compete with Universal in that regard. Just because Universal announced that they're having a 3rd park or 4th park, depending on what you think it is, there's no need to compete with that. You already have 4. You're still beating Universal. You're still beating Universal with the number of parks you have. So I don't think we need to compete with Universal in that regard, in the regards of an actual park. So
I think, Jeff, it is Guardians is the 5th.
Oh, no, I thought you said Guardians.
No, I didn't say Guardians.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So what's the new name for Guardians, by the way? Because that's one
of the it was. All right. So let's get to it.
Reverse first.
Yes, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Cosmic Rewind. That's a good name, you think?
I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot, actually. I think it's a good name for that attraction.
It goes along with like a mixtape kind of thing,
it does.
The tape.
It does. And so to kind of get into some of the information about the Cosmic Rewind, it's going to be you'll start in the Galaxarium, which is a planetarium-like exhibit that explores the similarities and mysteries of the formation of Earth's galaxy, as well as Xandar, which is in Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll learn the treasures that Xandar has, and then you'll get aboard a ship, which is going to be the first of its kind, because this coaster is actually going to be able to rotate 360 degrees to help focus your attention. But also, and this is where the name, I think, comes into play, it's going to be a reverse launch. So you're not only getting launched like you do in Rock and Roller Coaster. I don't know if it'll be that fast, but you're still getting launched. You're also going to be doing it backwards.
But see, Mr. Freeze used to do that here in St. Louis. Like,
yes, it did. It
20
did.
years ago.
Yeah. I know. But it's not the first time Disney's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. They just put the thing on the track backwards and you went backwards. That's the only difference.
Exactly.
It sounds fun. I mean, I like it. So, okay. So that's
All right.
Let me ask you this. I want to ask you about this because, I mean, Epcot Future World's being totally blown away. I mean,
yes.
For one thing, I'm still going to call it Future World because I'm
right. So let's specify. We now have 4 neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So the 4 neighborhoods are going to be called the front section and the middle section, like, the one where right now Club Cool and the Fountain of Nations and all that is. That is going to be called World Celebration. The section with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Space, and Test Track, and the new Play Pavilion is going to, that's awesome. We'll get to that. It's going to be called World Discovery. Then we have, of course, the Living Seas and the Land Pavilion, which is going to be part of the Nature neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or World Nature neighborhood, I guess I should say. And then we have, of course, World Showcase, which is still going to be called World Showcase. So those are the 4 neighborhoods that we're going to have to get used to calling them by their official names now.
What were you talking when you heard that? I mean, I'm fine with that because they're going to take out on the side over by the land and the seas. That's going to be really a lot of green space, which I like.
Yes.
We're going to have a festival center.
Oh my gosh, that festival center.
That's gonna be awesome. I mean, I'm gonna love the new Epcot. It's just gonna be a lot of pain between here and there.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the different sections of the new Epcot that we're going to be getting. So first things first, in World Celebration, we are going to be getting a updated Spaceship Earth, which is like, because I love Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth, I know, like, but I know it's going to be fine. Like, I love Spaceship Earth, and it does change, but man, that did kind of take my breath away a little bit first. Be careful now. Be careful now. We're not talking about the living seas here now.
Correct. Yes, we're talking about the cornerstone of the park. So instead of Spaceship Earth talking about communication or the evolution of technology, that kind of thing, what we're going to be getting is kind of like a story. So it's going to take us through, it's going to involve a story light that's going to follow through the scenes and bring the entire ride to life. And so that's the part that's really interesting to me is they're really going to talk about storytelling and how storytelling has morphed throughout history and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is they better leave my Foxy Cleopatra alone, because otherwise somebody's going to get it.
It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Communication and storytelling, basically the same thing, different words.
They are. So I'm curious to see what they'll do. My hope is that what they'll really do is they'll update the back half of Spaceship Earth and put scenes in again, instead of, you know, the touchscreen option that we have now. That's kind of my hope, is, you know, that we'll get more, that will be touched more than anything else. But I guess we will have to see. Also, adding the story light thing in is weird. But hey, if they need something cohesive to tell the story, whatever. So okay.
All right. So Spaceship Earth.
All right. So then moving past Spaceship Earth, you're going to get into the section called Dreamer's Point. It will be the section right behind Spaceship Earth right now, like I said, where this Fountain of Nations is. You're going to be able to see lush gardens, a wishing tree, and an enchanted forest, which looks beautiful from what I saw. An interactive new story fountain, as well as, and this I think is my favorite thing of all.
This is my one favorite announcement from the entire event.
Honest to God, we're such Disney homers. Yeah. I'm so excited. They're going to put in a statue honoring Walt Disney, and I couldn't be more excited about this. The statue just gave me all the feels, and I'm so excited about it. It looks awesome.
Because to me, like the renderings, again, these are renderings, but the statue is probably going to be very similar. I mean, I'm sure that's what the statue will look like. To me, like, I mean, because I think everybody evokes a different feeling when you look at art. And when I saw the statue, being in Epcot, looking at Spaceship Earth, kind of centrally there, Epcot was really Walt's big dream at the end of his life. And this is kind of an older Walt, it looks like. Yes. Kind of in his later years, and just kind of reflecting on, you know, I'm trying to read into like what will be going on.
No, absolutely. That's exactly. I mean,
all those struggles back in Kansas City, all those struggles out in, you know, Los Angeles, you know, at the beginning of the animation and getting Snow White done and all that stuff, kind of at the end of his life, you know, just kind of reflecting back on, wow, you know, even though he wasn't there at Epcot, he didn't get to see it, realized, like, you know, it, like in imagination, like, wow, we did this, you know, kind of thing.
And granted, Epcot is not what Walt had
envisioned.
I mean, you know, like we have to remember that.
Yes.
Like, yeah, obviously us Disney nerds, we know that Epcot, the way we got it, is not what Walt intended. So, you know, and I know that a lot of people are upset with the changes that are happening, especially with like the renaming of things and stuff like that. And it's just, like I said, it isn't Walt Epcot. So what we got, I think we're still going to get that education and wonderment and learning and all that in Epcot. It's just going to be the way that it was with Future World. The way changes are happening so much in our culture, it's too hard to be Future World right now. So I really do like that they are cutting them up into different sections and making those sections. I feel like that's a better way to morph it. So anyway, I think that this statue of Walt is fantastic, and I am completely happy that they are doing it, even though it's not exactly Walt's vision, but that's okay. So we're also going to get a new home base for the festival center. Now this sucker is weird. I'm just saying, like it looks space agey and just bizarre, but it's like a 3-story building. And the first story is going to like be the plaza area. Then there's going to be a middle level expo area. And then it's going to be like a park at the top, which, by the way, I can guarantee you there will be dessert parties at the top of this thing.
That's built for. That's you won't see it unless you have a suite and you paid $80.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing I think is really important here is that this is the place that, you know, when they have the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, I'm sure that this is where they're going to have all those seminars take place. You know, with the removal of the former pavilion to make way for the Play Pavilion, they really don't have a place for anybody to go for those festivals to show off their art or to show off their cooking or whatever. So I feel like this is the point of this. So I'm glad to see they're building something. I love the look is just weird but awesome. And yeah, it's going to be that whole section is just, it's going to be transformed. You are going to walk into Epcot and you're not going to know what hit you. You're going to be like, wait, am I in the right park? Because like, it's not going to look anything like you expected it to.
You know what? They've kind of shoehorned this idea into the Odyssey over the last like 4 or 5 years. But now they're like, if we could do this from scratch and really have a festival center, and do it right from the beginning, that's what
exactly.
Yeah. And
speaking of the Odyssey, if you want to see more about what Epcot is going to have, make sure you go to the Odyssey building. They are going to have kind of like it's basically like a Blue Sky Sailor, but that's not what it's called, of all the artwork and stuff like that of what we can expect with the changes at Epcot. So that is the World Celebration section. Now we'll go back to the section of the World Discovery. So the World Discovery, like I said, is going to have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It's also going to have the new space restaurant, which we officially got a name of. It's called Space 220. I am so excited about this place.
Did you get why it was 220 initially?
Yes, it's 220 miles up from Earth.
Yep.
Yes.
That's where like the ISS.
Got it. Okay. Yep. All right. Yep. So this place sounds awesome. I love the way they're going to do this. You're going to board a special elevator that takes you straight up to the space station. It sounds awesome. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the elevator that they had at Disney Quest. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a little different, obviously, but the one with the genie.
Hydrolator.
Yeah, it's going to be like a hydrolator, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be awesome. I'm super stoked about this restaurant. We also have more information at the Play Pavilion. So the Play Pavilion is going to be this interactive city with games and activities. It's going to include things like an Edna mode experience where you get to help her rid uninspired style. You can also do like a water balloon fight, a digital, I'm guessing, water balloon fight with Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby. From DuckTales, which way to go random, Disney. And like, there's so much more that you're going to be able to do. The great thing about this is that it's going to be interactive, and it's going to be able to be changed out and stuff like that. Of course, I think this is where you're going to be able to meet your favorite Disney characters. So I'm pretty sure that all the character spot and everything like that is going to be moved over here. Yeah, this section sounds like it's going to be a section that I actually want to go to now instead of a section that I'm like, let's go ride Test Track. Okay, and then that's it. So I'm excited about to see what they're going to do with the World Discovery section. So.
I think this place too that you're going to want to go every trip because every trip it's going to be a different experience. Test Track.
Yeah.
But I think if you go down in October and you go back in March, you might have 3 or 4 different experiences over there.
Absolutely. So, moving on to the World Nature section. Now, this is, like I said, it's where the land and the seas are. In this section, there's 2 announcements. Now, one we already had, which was the Awesome Planet, and that was announced back in March. And this is a new film that is going to be taking place in the former Circle of Life theater. Thank you. I wanted to say pavilion, and I'm like, that's not the right word. And it's going to debut in January 2020, which is so soon. So that's awesome. And it's going to show you, of course, the planet, which is perfect fit for the land pavilion. Kudos to Disney for doing this one. This one sounds awesome. The thing that was like a what that got announced, like everybody lost their minds, was the new Moana section that's going to be added here, and it's called Journey of Water. And this completely came out of the blue, and I was like, okay. So it's going to be like a lush exploration trail where you're going to be able to play with the magical living water, and so you're going to learn about the importance of the natural water cycle. This sounds so Epcot-y. I get that hopefully that it continues what I think it's going to continue and does not tend toward the trend of what they did with the Seas and Nemo and Friends, where they just had the ride where you literally saw the same thing happen again. Mm-hmm. Hopefully this will be more educational than that. But they're going to take this educational experience of walking through, learning about water, but they're going to tie Moana into it. In that regard, I think that's a good use of IP. Again, they're still using the edutainment aspect of it, but they're tying in a character that people know and love. And if you can't meet Moana by the end of this thing, I mean, they are completely missing out, because the fact that you can't meet Moana anywhere at Walt Disney World unless you're going to Halloween Party is a huge mistake, in my opinion. So definitely need the opportunity to meet.
So this thing was like a walking trail. It kind of sounded like an exploration trail. So I'm trying to think on that side of the park, because
Okay.
with the Run Disney events,
Yep.
we tend to run through backstage over behind
Yep.
Imagination, the land,
It's not
and
it,
the Living Seas. So I'm trying to figure out where that's
it's
going to
not
go.
going where you think it's going.
Where do you
It's
think it's going?
actually, I think, where it's going. And if you look at the like really, really closely at the concept art that was posted about the four neighborhoods and like the overview of Epcot, which is a fantastic piece of art, by the way. I think it's actually over by the seas, in front of the seas. So right now you have that. I think there's
The
really
big
no
water feature
pathway.
thing?
Yeah, there's really no pathway to get to this section right now. I think that Interventions is blocking it. So I think once they tear that down, there'll be a pathway to get into that section. So it's probably like right in front of, or to the side of where the seas is. Kind of like where the monorail goes.
Yeah,
I
because you are
think
going to
that's
get a
about
lot
where it's
more land back when you knock over the big Interventions building. That thing's huge.
absolutely.
And think about
100%. 100%. So my hope is that you won't also have to like walk all the way down to where we currently have to walk, and that there'll be pathways that meander through, from the front hub right there, instead of us walking like all the way back, all the way through, and then having to cut through to get to the sections of, well, now I was going to say, Future World East and Future World West, but it's not going to be that anymore. So
All right, so this show, obviously, we're just going to be able to get into the Epcot announcements. And
I'm
even maybe not
sorry.
get
I'm
into
sorry.
all those.
I had so
It's so much. But let's talk about, okay, so we have a name for the show that's going to come after Epcot Forever. And it's
I
Harmonious.
know. I saw the preview of Epcot Forever, and I'm like, can we keep it?
Oh, it's going to be so hard to say goodbye to that. Oh, my God.
Oh, that one looks so awesome. And then they're gonna give us this Harmonious show. No, I'm sure Harmonious is gonna be just fine. And the work that they're doing in it is fantastic. Now, Disney is claiming that it will be the largest nighttime spectacular ever created for a Disney park. We'll see. It's going to carry you away with reinterpreted music. It's going to feature massive floating set pieces, custom built LED panels, choreographed moving fountains, lights, pyrotechnics. Of course, that means fireworks, lasers, and more. And it's going to debut in 2020. And I just want to specify, it's Harmonious with the U and the us capitalized. So just keep that in mind.
Disney. Yes.
I know, right?
Three
Yeah,
of
so
us.
anyway, moving along. We also have information now officially about the Beauty and the Beast sing along, which is not replacing Impressions de France, but is going to be running simultaneously. Like, one is going to be running and then the other. That show is going to debut January 2020. We have an official date for the Canada Pavilion's new Circle Vision 360 show. Which is going to be January 2020 as well. And that one is going to be called Canada Far and Wide. And I don't know if Martin Short will be back or if it's going to be somebody else, but I'll be sad if Martin
He's
Short's
got to
gone.
be in there. Come on, Martin.
Come on, we gotta have Marty. Although he probably doesn't look the same anymore. So
Yeah,
his face is a little tight there. Yeah.
Left one even. So
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. So, and the China Pavilion, we're going to have the new show called Wondrous China. And it's going to take guests on a spectacular journey throughout the country. And it's going to be presented in a completely new, seamless 360-degree digital format. So that's new right there, is that it's going to be completely seamless, which we don't have yet.
Do you think, let me ask you this, because I love something about the old China movie. I love that thing. That guy that's, I don't know. I just where he says like I would be the Venice of the East or whatever. Like, I don't know, the poet that's the narrator.
Yeah.
Show. I love that show. I know it's so dated. It's so dated, but I mean, I watched Chips today before we.
That's true. You did.
It's my jam. Do you think the regular guest though goes, gets excited or even goes in or even thinks about going in things like this, or is this just stuff that like the folks that have been there 20 times, like, oh, we're going to Canada, cool. Oh, we'll go see the movie in China.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, a lot of people definitely, especially if it's their first time, don't know that China and Canada have films. They just walk past, ooh, pretty. But I think it's for the more, definitely probably for the more seasoned traveler. Or for those who like to explore. And, I think it's just to update. And, if Epcot's not, or, Walt Disney World in general is not updating, then it stays stagnant. And I mean, well, I know everybody loves that Impressions de France film, and God forbid it ever changes or gets replaced completely for this Beauty and the Beast sing along. But like it's completely dated when you walk inside that that movie. So I think that by at least changing it a little bit and adding something a little more relevant, a little more timely, it's better overall. I mean, for goodness sakes, Martin Short's face. Let's just speak perfectly.
Epcot has to have these things. Like that is the Epcot. I mean, whether you go or not as a first-time guest, you need to have that to kind of give the layers of Epcot. If you don't, it's all superficial.
And with a ride, I mean, you can't update a ride very well. I mean, of course they did it with Frozen, but whatever. So these films are a lot easier to update. So I know they're not major draws, but they're definitely something that helps to make Epcot what it is. So I think that that's why they know it's important. So we also got a date for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and I'm so excited about it because guess what? Guess what, Mike? Guess what?
What?
It opens next summer, and I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. So I get to actually finally understand what I was hearing when I was writing Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So that part's awesome. Also, the new creperie is opening in 2020 as well in the summer. So last but not least, this is the one that, okay. All right.
This is kind of surprising. I didn't know about this.
This one. Okay. So we are getting in the United Kingdom Pavilion an attraction that is inspired by the film of Mary Poppins. So they're going to take that back section that we know and love where, British Revolution plays, and they're going to retheme that. I'm assuming that's where this is going. And it's going to be, you're going to walk through Cherry Tree Lane, past Admiral Boom's house, and enter the Banks house where you'll begin your adventure. Now that's all they said, right? So everybody's thinking, oh, it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a ride. And I just have to specify that Disney says attraction. And attraction can also mean meet and greet.
It could be like an extended meet and greet.
I'm very worried that this is going to, because, okay, look, Walt Disney, his greatest film to many people is Mary Poppins. And if all we get out of this is a updated meet and greet, can you imagine? Like, we've waited all this time for a Mary Poppins attraction, and it's just a fancy meet and greet, like riots. But like, I suspect that I'm very hopeful that this is not true, and I hope that they put in some sort of actual ride. But I suspect that this is going to be a meet and greet, kind of along the lines of like Enchanted Tales with Belle. I'm just saying, I don't have any intel, obviously. But the way they worded it and knowing how much space is necessarily around this area, I don't know that there's a lot of space to build an attraction here. That's like a big attraction.
But isn't it better than what we have now, though? I mean, it's still better than, 20% better than zero.
I guess it depends on your definition of better. I mean, we are currently have a Mary meet and greet. Granted, I mean, she switches off with, Alice in the United Kingdom Pavilion. We're just getting a dedicated space for her to meet, and with a little extra zhuzhing added. Again, I don't know. It's completely conjecture on my part, and they could be putting in a ride for all I know, but man, does it sound like a meet and greet. I'm just saying, it sounds just like a fancy meet and greet. So I just want people to have their expectations tempered. You know how everybody's expectations were still, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, fifth gate, and then they were completely let down when that secret announcement wasn't a fifth gate. I want their expectations to be tempered for this too, because I don't know that it's what you think it's going to be. And if I'm wrong, I would love to be surprised, but I don't know that it will be. So.
My money's on a linear induction roller coaster that goes.
Yes, because nothing says Mary Poppins like a linear induction roller
coaster. You're going to surprise us. You're thinking you're meeting Mary? No, man. You're going to be those chimneys.
Yep. Oh, hey, dude, that would be awesome. I'm just saying. But that's not what's going to happen.
Awesome. Not happening. No. Okay, so we didn't get into everything. We basically
sorry so much.
No, but there's so much, and I think it's better to have the discussion than to just rattle off everything.
Rush through. Yeah.
So, bottom line, what are you most excited about?
Out of Epcot or?
Yes, out of Epcot.
Oh man.
Seriously, the statue. I give me a little touch of Walt in the parks, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, is that sad that I'm excited that they're like, that's one of the things I'm most excited about is a Walt statue. But no, you know what? I am excited to see I'm excited to see what Disney does with, growing Epcot to be now. Does that make sense? Like, I'm excited. It's been so dated for so long. I mean, goodness gracious, I'm really excited about seeing what they are going to do to make this park just incredibly stellar and, just really a great place with to just hang out. And I know it's already a park that's great to hang out in. But I'm really excited to see what they do with Future World. And well, now will be the world, whatever designation you have. Name designation here: World Celebration or World Nature or World Discovery. Now, I also want to point out we did not get any information about Imagination, and that part is most intriguing to me because it's not going in the nature section, which is where you'd think it would be, because that's that half. So is it the only logical explanation would be, is it going in Celebration?
I would say Celebration.
I would say Celebration as well. And I am very surprised that they did not announce that we would be getting, with everything else that they were announcing, that we would not be getting, like, there's nothing about getting any kind of refurbishment work for the Imagination Pavilion. And I think that was my biggest surprise, to be perfectly honest. Like, the other stuff I wasn't surprised about, except maybe Brazil. I really thought we'd get Brazil too.
Me too. But yeah. I did hear that they're working on a Captain EO too. So
no. Is it going to be you? Are you going to be the host? Are you going to be the? Yeah.
That,
okay.
You have me. I'm also dancing in the Mary Poppins attraction too, as you dangle upside down your roller coaster. I'm doing
awesome. Good job. Good to know. Yes.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, people on a fifth gate. Think about it. I mean, with everything happening to Epcot, it's a good park. I mean, it's a great park. It's a very unique park. It's a cool experience for folks to go into. But I mean, think about in the last 5 years, and then like if you look at like a decade starting 5 years ago to 5 years into the future, like 35, 45, even 50% of that park's gonna be different.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, that the whole front half of the park is gonna be different. I mean,
and plus you got Ratatouille, you got Frozen Ever After, you have
you
have the stuff coming to the UK, new movies in China and Canada. I mean, you got the new restaurant in Japan,
the new Takumi Thai. Yeah. So much new at Epcot. And you're right. It doesn't feel like it, because when you like pace it all out, like it really doesn't feel like there's like a lot new. But then like when you really look at it, you're like, wow, there's a lot new at Epcot. They really are completely redoing this park. And I know that they've said it's going to be the biggest transformation of a park in like Disney's history. And when you really look at it, they're not lying. It's going to be the big. I know DCA had a huge update.
Yeah,
but I feel like this is going to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, so.
That's pretty big. All right, so we want to hear what you have to say. Tell us what you're most excited about from D23. Drop on the Facebook page at facebook.com. Be Our Guest Podcast.
Let me know how completely incorrect I am about all my hot takes. Because I know that so many people are like, she's so wrong.
I mean, the thing is, we respect all opinions. We always
That's right.
That's what this is all about. It's about the family.
I just have a mouthpiece to put my opinions out there.
Yeah, the microphone, and that's all.
I have a mouth. Yeah.
I have a fever, so I don't have the strength.
He doesn't have the fight to fight me back.
All right. Don't forget, you can follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at Be Our Guest Pod and at Be Our Guest Mike. We've got an awesome Facebook page at facebook.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by our friends over at the Magic for Less Travel. So as these parks morph and become more awesome, make sure you book with the great agents over at the Magic for Less. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. And as you do that shopping online over the weekend, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. All right, we're going to get out of here and be back next week. Pam will be back from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
We'll all three be together. More D23 talk and
Galaxy's Edge talk and everything. Just, so much news.
Thank you, Disney, for keeping our podcast going. We need information, and you
delivered for sure. Yeah.
All right, so prepare Ricky. I'm Mike. Wish you a great weekend. Whatever you do, stay safe, and we'll see you real soon. Woo!
We're going to have so much feedback on mine.
I agree with that. I agree.
No, I know. I have a lot of people who have disagreed with me, but yeah. So hot takes. Wait. I'll do it. Hot takes.
My forehead.
Mike is hot in the head right now. So go home. Go to bed. Go to bed, Mike.
Go to Taco Bell, then I'm going to bed.
That's not bed. That's not healthy. Go get yogurt and then go to bed.
I'm not getting yogurt.
Okay, yogurt.
Yeah, I think I got my medicine from Walgreens. I think
that's good. Hey, sour cream might have some cultures in it. Get sour cream.
I can do sour cream on my taco. No, Lisa, what I would do if she has a question about requesting a specific room, call the resort directly. Just Google the resort's name. It'll give you the number. When they answer, ask for the room assigner at that hotel because you usually go to a switchboard 3 to 4 days prior. Then talk to the room assigner and you get good luck that way. Call the resort. Don't fax. Anyway, I'm out because I feel like I'm about to die. So I'll see you next week.
Feel better.
See ya. Bye.
Okay, bye.